Price cuts are coming, everybody. Well, that's what Redfin and Realtor.com would lead you to believe by two articles that they have written. According to Redfin, the week of April 9th saw the largest jump in home price cuts since 2015. And an article written by Realtor.com states that home prices have already begun falling. But is this everywhere, and what does it really mean? Now, I love that Redfin says this, and then right after that says this. Let's be clear, the jump in sellers cutting prices doesn't mean house prices are about to plummet. Many of their properties were likely listed above value, and home shoppers simply didn't bite. That said, home buyers being less eager to bid the market upward could indicate, in theory, some softening in the market. It also could signal that home price growth is finally decelerating, i.e., prices could start increasing at a more moderate level. Prices are not even they're not even saying that they're going down. They're saying that they're just going to start rising at a moderate level. And the Realtor.com article went on to say this. This is not a repeat of the Great Recession when a housing bubble popped and prices plummeted across the country. These are mostly smaller decreases that don't portend another crash. What the Realtor.com article really was focusing on were the top 10 cities that were seeing the largest decrease in home price values. And guess what? The Phoenix Scottsdale market was not on the list. In fact, there was not one city in Arizona that was on the list. There was only one city on the West Coast that was on the list. The places seeing the largest decrease in prices are places like Toledo, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Rochester, New York, and LA. Now, the price decreases that we're talking about are anywhere from about 3.5% to 18%. Now, that's pretty significant. That one is happening in Toledo, Ohio. I can tell you here in the Phoenix Scottsdale market that I have not listed a house since the beginning of 2022 that has even sold for list price, nor have I had a buyer pay the list price. Both have always been higher than the list price since the beginning of 2022. However, the conversations that I'm having with both my buyers and sellers for the last 3 to 4 weeks has been that there is a small shift that I am seeing. Now, I am going to say in big capital letters, small shift. So if it's just a small shift, what do I really mean? Well, it means that I have seen some price decreases come through within the last, say, 3 to 4 weeks. I've also seen some homes canceled and expire, which I just haven't seen in quite a few months. Now, I attribute this kind of like what Redfin said to homes that were probably priced too high to begin with. Now, I have also seen some homes that have sat on the market for a week before they've got under contract. However, when they sell, they are not selling below their list price. Now, I do believe this is coming from a weakening demand that we are seeing in our market, but in the grand scheme of things, before we were in crazy upside down world, if you had your home on the market for a week and got it under contract, that was awesome. Now, I have also begun to see our inventory start to rise, but for most buyers, this is extremely welcoming. So just a few months ago, we were sitting at our overall numbers active on the market, looking at 4,000 to 5,000 homes in all of Maricopa County. Now, today, we're at about 7,200. That jump isn't so significant that it's gonna totally throw everything off. Buyers, my buyers at least, are saying, I love that I have a few more options. Now, I don't wanna say that these homes are sitting on the market either because they're going right back out the funnel. So they're coming on the market and they're going right back out. So again, this inventory is extremely welcomed in our market. The increase in inventory, again, it's very, very welcome in our market, but it is something just to watch out for. Just as we have talked about it in other videos about the number of rentals we have started to see increase, when we start to see listings start to increase, again, it's just something for us to watch out for. But as I said, the number of new active listings that we have on the market, the increase in our inventory is very welcoming right now. So the only thing that I'm really seeing decrease in our market right now are the number of multiple offers on a home. So instead of 15 to 20 offers on a home, you might only have 2 to 3, sometimes only 1. But again, it's at list price or sometimes even higher because that buyer feels they're going to be competing with somebody. So they're offering more than the list price. In an article that Lawrence Yoon, who is the chief economist and vice president of the National Association of Realtors, he just wrote an article for Realtor magazine. And here's what he said he sees as the future of our market. A few states actually have more jobs now than they did before the COVID-19 days. They are Utah, Idaho, Texas, Arizona, Georgia, and Montana in order of performance. Those are also the states experiencing extra strong real estate activity, both in residential and commercial market. Jobs are important. Now, we've talked about jobs in previous videos, and the number of jobs that we have here in the Valley and the number of jobs that are coming here are phenomenal. That is one of the biggest reasons we continue to see this migration into the state of Arizona, because people have an amazing opportunity for jobs, either getting new jobs or being transferred here because their job is moving here. And this is a big reason why it continues to fuel our real estate market. Now, he does go on to say that the rise in interest rates is making affordability somewhat of a challenge for some buyers because it is increasing their monthly mortgage payment. And because of this, he said he could see home sales decrease by 2 to 4% in 2022. Now, that is not home prices decreasing. That's just the number of homes sold. So when, if at all, could we see our market change? Well, the Crawford Market Report said this on May 1st. Supply has been arriving in greater quantities over the past few weeks. This applies to both rental and for sale listings. The most dramatic rises are in rentals. Residential for sale listings added over the last 28 days number 10,476, up from 10,387 in the same period of 2021, a 0.9% increase. Year to date, we have seen 40,198, down from 40,580 last year. The problem for the market is that this extra supply is coming just as demand is dropping fast. The for sale active listing count across all areas and types has jumped 27% in just 4 weeks. This is even faster than we experienced in April of 2005. This is a scary percentage. Even though the absolute numbers remain small, if this growth rate persists through May and June, the market will be very different by July. Now, before everyone starts screaming that the sky is falling, I want you to look at this report that's from the Crawford Report that talks about contract ratio. Now, let me just tell you what the contract ratio is. The contract ratio indicates how hot a market is. It specifically measures the number of completed sales contracts relative to the supply of active listings. The higher the number, the greater the buying activity relates to supply. In a balanced market for normal market segments, the value of the contract ratio is usually between 30 and 60. When it lies below 20, the market can be considered slow or a cold market. Above 60 can be considered a hot market. And when it is above 100, we regard this as evidence of a buying frenzy. In high-end luxury market segments, the normal level is lower, usually lying between 15 and 25. Guess where we are currently? We are at 164. We are nowhere close to the sky falling. In fact, we are still considered to be in a frenzy. And just remember that the sales prices change gradually. They don't just fall off a cliff overnight. So you just need to pay attention to the right things to make sure that you are able to adjust and adjust correctly. So for sellers, you are still driving the bus. You are still in control of this market. But just make sure that if you've got a navigator on board, that your navigator understands what it is that they need to be looking at so that they can help you adjust correctly when the timing is right. And for buyers, right now, just make sure if you're ready to buy and you've got everything lined up to do so, get in there. You might be the only offer on a property. Maybe you won't get to be able to negotiate off the purchase price, but maybe you can negotiate some of the repairs. Just get in there, secure that home, secure that interest rate right now before it continues to rise. Again, before I get a bunch of comments in there that says, I'm a real estate agent and of course I want everyone to buy, I say this with a full knowledge that it is not the right time for everyone to buy. So if it's not your right time, then don't buy. But if you're ready, jump in. It's really going to be okay. I hope this video was helpful. If I can answer any other questions, please feel free. Reach out, call me, email me, text me, post a comment down below. If you think this video would be helpful for anyone, please make sure to share it. As always, I thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.